Yo. Welcome back to another episode. Blah, blah, blah. Another episode of the Yo podcast with Martin and Hooter. Hooter is not here today. He is still celebrating his birthday month because it's his birthday. So he's like, fuck it. I'm just going to be out here drinking margaritas and living my best lives. But thank you guys for joining us. I have a couple of homies here today. First of all, I want to introduce ladies first. That's Danny.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I know, right? It was just so. It was like
set
right
up.
there. To my right here, it is Deanna Molle.
Yes, you got it right. There you go.
I would imagine people fuck up your name all the time, Deanna.
But it's all good. Then they'd have to say it twice, 3 times, 4 times,
Molle,
and then they'll remember.
Molle. It's such a beautiful, it's a sexy ass name, Deanna Molle. You sound like a French actress in the, back in the day, all the glamour, and I can picture you with like a mink coat and just looking all sexy, seducing everybody with a martini glass. It's the adventures of Deanna Molle.
Well, that's how I got in the industry, because of that.
Right? Is that what because of her name? And then the gentleman you hear speaking is the man, the dude that just makes shit happen. Producer, director, creator, innovator, Mr. Danny Sauceda from Falcon Pictures.
Thanks for having me, guys. Really do. I
Dude,
appreciate it.
I met both you guys. It's coming up now on 2 years. Met you guys smack in the middle of the pandemic when everything was shut down. Nobody was doing shit. Everybody was completely afraid, and nothing was happening. And I get a phone call saying, "Hey man, we're doing some stuff with these dudes from Madeira, and they're doing this thing called Ghetto Busters." And I'm like, "What the hell is Ghetto Busters? Like, what are you talking about right now?" But you know what? I was happy to get out and do something. And, you had Citric involved in the project, Citric Compost. Concrete was involved in the project. And other than that, I had met you before. I had met you before very briefly over at the studio in Burbank.
Yes.
And but that was the first time we actually worked together. And when I showed up, I was, like I said, this was the middle of COVID. Everybody's masked up. The place that we were at was like, just trying to observe. Nobody knew what to do. Everybody was pretending to know, let's be honest here. But the reality is that it was just this, let's figure it out. And I respect the fact that you had the balls to do something when everybody else was cowering or I shouldn't say that. To be fair, being safe in some cases, there's people that couldn't do it. But then I think there's also people that used it as an excuse to just shut the fuck down. And maybe that's a little too harsh to hear. But I think people shut down. I don't think some people have not recovered. There's people that are still shut down and afraid and shuttered. And their life has been put on this 2-year pause. And I'm a long-winded guy, but because you're the guest, and so what inspired you to start creating at a time when everybody was shutting down, Danny?
It's just one of these things where it's like sometimes you just have to take it, seize the moment. You know what I mean? And I felt like the people that we work with, we took it very serious. Safety was always our number one priority. We've been filming all through COVID, and no one has came up positive at all. No one's got sick, which like I said, it's all in the team that you have behind you. But it's just one of those things where you just got to seize the moment. It's like nobody's doing nothing. Let's just start making some stuff and start producing.
You're a dude. You're the dude that is from the small town Madeira. Madeira is, for those of you that don't know, it's out in would you consider that Central California?
Yeah, Central
California. It's over there by in the Visalia and all those areas. Like Madeira, I've been to Madeira. I performed in Madeira. There's a theater there. My most vivid memory of Madeira is coming back from series, people call it, but series is what it is, but people call it series. I did a show all in Spanish in series, and these Mexicans got me fucked up. They just kept giving me whiskey shot after whiskey shot. And the next day I was so crudo, so hungover, and we left series, and I was with another comedian named Peter. We had done a show in all Spanish, and I go, bro, I need some menudo, bro. I don't know where we're gonna find some menudo, but and sure as shit, on Yelp or somewhere, the map found a menudo place in Ceres, or I'm sorry, in Madeira, bro. This place. And God bless the person. I think I've talked about this before, but I'm going to bring it up because it's your hometown. Talk about innovative. This place was a restaurant, a barber shop, a house, and chickens were running around the backyard. And they had the best menudo I had had in a long time. And I told the lady, hey, man, do you got any beer? She goes, no, but you could bring some if you want. I'm like, say no more, mija. I went to the liquor store across the street. It was around the Christmas time, so it was these long line, these little kids at this market for a posada. And I had some menudo in Madeira. That's my last memory of Madeira. That was a couple of years ago, brother.
Wow.
Yeah. So props to your town. But it's a small town.
Yeah, very small.
And you know, you said, hey, man, I don't need to be in Hollywood. I'm going to start producing shit here in Madeira.
Yeah, that's pretty much, I was, for years I was a stage dad. You know what I mean? My son, he was in the industry. He's been in the industry for a long time. And I just seen a lot of people from our valley struggle to try to be successful in Hollywood. You know what I mean? Because it's a long drive. It's a lot, and you know it, even being here in LA, it's a lot of no's, people driving back and forth. And so I just had, some really good friends, talk to me and was like, dude, we need to start making our own stuff. And that's pretty much how we started it. It was like you said, innovated. It was like, in a backyard, couple cameras and just started going, you know what I mean? And here we are today.
And I'm going to get to Ghetto Busters in a minute, but Deanna, you came in onto the project. How the hell did you get in the mix? And let me, you have a fascinating background. You were a beauty queen.
Yes, I was Miss America 2004, Miss International 2012, and those have been my most prestigious titles. But at the end of the day, I'm just Deanna Molle, and that's.
Homie, you're a beauty queen. Talking about, but at the end of the day, I'm just Deanna, hot beauty queen Molle. That's so humble.
I'm getting ready to get my senior citizen benefits soon.
Oh, cut it out. You're still a beauty queen. That is a tough gig to be out there and having people just look at you and just try to you're good enough to do this. It's like so crazy, right? But dude, congratulations. That's pretty badass. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you, Martin. And being Latina, again, back in the day, it was never easy either because it was all about the gringas, Caucasian women, tall, over 5'9", flaca. I'm over here curvy and everything. But at the end of the day, it's all about just getting the part, being the best spokesperson, and just going out and making a difference in your community. And that's pretty much what I'm all about. So, yeah.
So, like the beauty question, when they say, if you had one wish for the world, what would it be? Remember that question? They used to ask that all the time.
All the time.
And then people just some people would freeze, dude. Like they'd be like, feed all the poor people. It's the old cliche, but that is a loaded question. If you were to have one wish for the world, what would it be, Deanna?
I think my favorite answer would be, and I have used it on stage.
Oh, there you go, recycling material.
And it was just very simple. I mean, Eddie Murphy's future wife said it best on Coming to America. Anything you like. That's pretty much it. And you're at everybody's pretty much, I don't want to say disposal, but at the end of the day, it's all about you being a likable person, and anything anyone likes to make them happy, I will definitely go the extra mile.
You're a people pleaser.
Oh, yeah, all day long.
That's beautiful. That's fucking
That's why
awesome.
I get along so well with Danny.
Now, and then you've also had, you've been an actress for a long time.
I have.
You've been acting for years, right?
For about 25 years, off and on, as much as I've tried to get away from it. It always lures me back in. It's my biggest mistress slash, affair in Hollywood. But at the end of the day, I just love what I do. I just really, really do.
And you've probably met a ton of interesting people along the way in this journey. You're in that show Container Wars.
Yes.
And then you were in a movie way back. What the hell was that movie that you did? God damn it! I was reading your IMDb. Yeah, I was. Dude, that's where everybody goes now. Is like you go to IMDb to find out what people used to be able to bullshit their ass off back in the day. I remember one of my first resumes when I started comedy. This one dude who knew how to pump shit up, and back then there was no like real Google per se. And he goes, "Yeah, we're gonna say that you were in this movie China Dolls," and I'm like, but I wasn't in the movie. He goes, "It was my movie. If they call, I'll just say you were." And I'm like, okay. It's like, so there's an old resume of me somewhere. It's so embarrassing. Like, oh, it's a China Dolls. Sounds like a porn. Really.
I could see you in that one.
In a movie called China Dolls. But anyway, how did you get involved with the project with Falcon Pictures and Ghetto Busters?
That I'm going to try to compound into a long story short, but I met Danny.
We got time, dude. Just, yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's dig into
Put
it.
it on the table.
It's a beautiful story. It really is of how we connected. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's one of those moments in life where it's a life-changing moment, and you don't realize it until your life changes. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So
Dude, that's powerful. How did you meet?
Well, we met at an audition. Vic Damone, who is our music composer for Ghetto Busters, he introduced me to Danny. Danny invited me to an open call for a casting for one of his projects. I came in, I auditioned. I did not get the part, but I told Danny, hey, listen, if you're ever casting, just go ahead and give me a call. And sure enough, that's exactly what he did. And he called me about, 8-9 months afterwards. Yeah. Said, I have this YouTube, I want to do a project. I want you to come on board. And I said, sure, not a problem. And the rest was history.
Pretty well. It's not history yet because we're still
working.
Now
we're partners.
And you said something right now that's super awesome for anybody listening right now. And then if this moment right now is for you, because you said, I have a YouTube channel and I'm creating something. With today's technology, anybody could create something. Yeah. There's no excuse for not. There's people sitting there still waiting for somebody to carry them and whisk them away and give them a beautiful opportunity and give them a happy ending, right? And I'm not saying that can't happen, but at the end of the day, the platform has never been there like it is today for literally any monkey to create something. Yeah. And that's beautiful. I think that's awesome. And you said, hey man, I got this, and then from that it turned into now you got Ghetto Busters streaming on Tubi. Yes. Which is, dude, Tubi streams. Tubi is a hoe. No disrespect. The opinions of Martin Moreno are not those expressed by Falcon Pictures, who has a great relationship with Tubi. And I love Tubi, but Tubi just has everything on Tubi. It's beautiful. It literally is what Netflix was early on. This hodgepodge of projects and ideas and genres, and it's freaking awesome. Actually, I could get lost in Tubi.
It's got a lot of great stuff on there. You know what I mean? And it's like, again, it's one of those moments where you're catching something. And right now Tubi, I mean, it's in the papers and everything. Tubi's been bought out by Paramount and Fox. So it's really on the verge of about to explode. You know what I mean? So us getting in at the moment that we're in, it's good. It's perfect timing. It's just the world letting us know, like, this is where we need to be.
And I think that's also the beautiful thing. I was talking to somebody the other day, and we were talking about just Latino representation, right? And I don't want to beat a dead horse. But, because plenty of people are wah, wah, wah. We never get a chance. We can't tell our stories. Wah, wah, wah. I'm not trying to wah, wah, wah. The fact is that on network television, I don't know how many Latino shows you can name that have gone into syndication.
Couple.
Just a couple.
Tell me, two.
George Lopez show, the original one. That one went into syndication.
Mm-hmm.
One Day at a Time just went into syndication too.
That was not network television.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Yeah.
It was definitely a.
But as far as I know,
No, you said a couple of them.
Yeah.
I'll wait for the second one.
Oh, you got me on that one. Yeah, I can't really.
So
think of it.
I think there's plenty of platforms. That we can go, Gentefied. You could go Vida. You can go East Los High. There's a ton of Latino shows. Fortunately, Mayans on FX.
Yeah.
But the reality is that on network television, there was the George Lopez show, the Cristela show was on. It had maybe one season. The Paul Rodriguez had a show. I don't even think it ran a full season. I think it was called Condo or AKA Pablo. And there was another show, but it was Puerto Rican. And I think it was Freddie Prinze, right? With Chico and the Man. Other than that, the representation has been pretty minimal, right? Now,
Well, you just reminded me. I Love Lucy. That was kind of Hispanic.
Desi Arnaz.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it was about a Puerto Rican family with
Cuban.
Cuban.
Yeah.
Cuban family.
Cuban American.
But I mean, other than that, like you said, it's very minimal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're 100% correct. But that was one Latino on the show.
Yeah.
And people forgot that he was Latino, right?
Latino, it's true.
Yeah. I mean, Ricky, I just saw Being the Ricardos. Have you guys seen that yet?
I've been wanting to watch it.
Bro,
I haven't seen it yet. I've
so
heard good
good.
things about it. I've heard.
So,
good
and I
things
grew
about
up on I Love Lucy, and I love Lucy. I mean.
And it's still behind the scenes, a woman still has to go through and fight for her place. It being, part
Shut
of the
up, woman.
show. I'm definitely serious about that. And that's why I have that chancla all day long. I've been like spanking you guys all day long. Come
Put
on.
on your bikini and march around.
That's
what
right.
are you doing?
Push up the boobs.
Show the boobs. Be a good woman. Nice. No, you're right.
Yeah,
You're 100%
true.
correct. And
It's
that movie, to just how much control both of them had, and the fucking balls on Ricky Ricardo. Mm-hmm. The balls on him, like, no, this is what the fuck we're gonna do. And he had the numbers behind him.
I know.
The numbers. I don't want to be a spoiler because the movie's still fairly new, but holy shit, watching that movie, not only was it educational because you find out all this behind the scenes stuff,
Right.
but it was also inspirational in the fact that these people were trailblazers. And I think that what you're doing and what both of you are doing is trailblazing, because we use network TV as an example, and not shitting on it, no wah, is that people of color have now said, that's fine. I could put my shit on Hulu. I could put my shit on Tubi. I could put my shit on Amazon Prime. I could put my shit on YouTube. And if it's good, people will find it.
Yes.
That's the bottom line. If
Well,
it's good, people will find it.
It's not just, different networks. It's the same thing with, like how I said, like, you don't have to be in Hollywood to create a freaking movie no more. You know what I mean? Like, like I said, we're in a small town of Madeira, and we're making some really good shit with some really good people. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, you're not in Hollywood. When I first started filming this, I remember, trying to beg people for $100. I just need $100. You can be a producer, blah, blah, blah. And because the biggest thing was like, they were like, well, it's not LA, you can't really film a movie down here. Times have changed tremendously. Times have changed to where you film and where you can take it to. And that's just giving a lot of people opportunities. So it's like, quit fucking sitting on your couch. Go make some shit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you started the project, and then you jumped in as a producer.
I did.
So you came in as an actress originally.
Yes.
Not as a producer.
I came in as an actress,
Okay.
and then I attached myself as a producer. I said, I pulled Danny aside, and I said, Danny, this is a big deal. I see this big picture, and I named it right pretty much from the get-go. I see these guys being a household name. I see them at Comic-Con. I see a big premiere at the, Chinese theater. And so I saw like this epiphany of like, we can take this show all the way. But the one thing that really, really just put it out there for me, GhostBusters, the Afterlife theatrical release, was coming up in the next year and a half. So I said, if we can get this done by the time Ghostbusters, the theatrical release, comes out, we can be the parody and we can ride coattails all day long. And
Hey, man.
that was the master plan, and it worked.
It did.
Dude, okay. People speaking. Listen, this is
Manifested all this.
Thank
all
you.
day long.
That's the word, manifesting. So again, if you can, you said I picture this being at Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
This is before there was any. These episodes weren't even completely shot, and you said I picture this shit at Comic-Con, and people probably looked at you like, shut the fuck up, lady. You know, I'm just, you know, I'm guessing here. I'm not, you know, because
you're right.
you know, and then you're like, no, I see this shit on Comic-Con. Not only do I see it on Comic-Con, I see a premiere at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood. Oh yeah? What else do you fucking see there in your magic crystal ball, lady? And it's like, well, I also see people licking my no. So now, I think, you know, people are always talking about The Secret. People are always talking about, well, if you believe it, you can achieve it. And when you wake up and you manifest and blah, 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 and blah, blah, all that's fine and dandy. But you got to put, first of all, write the shit down and then make it happen. You're not going to manifest dick by thinking, I want it at Comic-Con. You probably made some goddamn calls, did some things to get to Comic-Con. I'm pretty sure Comic-Con didn't come knocking on your door. Hey, Deanna Molle, beauty queen from back in the day. You got any content you want to bring to Comic-Con? We're looking for shit. As a matter of fact, I was manifesting this shit the other day. Funny you showed up. That's not how it went down. You took some steps to get that shit there.
I did. I definitely did. But I do want to include one thing, because one thing about Danny, which I made my promise, Danny's mom had involvement with this from the very beginning. And I will always honor her wherever we go in the public eye, because, again, I'm a believer. I'm very spiritual. But when I see too many coincidences, and when his mom's obituary fell off the wall, she spoke to me and told me, take this. I believe in you. You can manifest this all day long. And that's why I constantly
get on the
remind
microphone,
Danny.
Mihan, because I think we're losing your voice.
I constantly remind Danny, your mom is with you all the way. I'm only being utilized, but I believe. I'm a believer. And whatever you tell me I can't do, that gives me that much more force to go ahead and reckon all the way through and get what needs to be done, because at the end of the day, we all need to be believers, because all of our dreams and everything that we manifest can come true, but you have to follow through, have faith, and believe. You have to.
It's amazing that, you know, like that story, you know, we're filming episode 1. Actually, we're filming the pilot because we reshot episode 1. So we're filming the pilot, you know, everything's, you know, going amazing. We're having a blast. You know, Deanna's getting ready to leave. She turns around, her backpack hits, you know, the picture, falls. You know what I mean? And my aunt wasn't mad because we were in her house. She, you know, she was just like, this is your mom telling you she's with you. And dang, I get emotional over this stuff. But fast forward to, we're done. We finished it all. We have our wrap party in Madeira. You know, we had, you know, everybody out there, Citric, Concrete, you know, which is beautiful that they all came out to this little town to come watch the premiere. And I get home, you know, we have this beautiful dinner, you know, dancing, music, everything. I get home, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, open up my laundry room door, because that's why, you know, I got to go to my laundry room door to go to my house. And, you know, my hall light is just flickering. It's just flickering. You know what I mean? Like nonstop. Lived in this house for like 25 years. It's never done that in 25 years. You know what I mean? So to me, it was like right away, I was just like, that's my mom. You know what I mean? And get emotional over that shit. But
when did your mom pass?
God, I think like 5 years ago. About 5-6 years ago. I think it's 6 years ago.
What you both said right now is extremely beautiful. And I will say that, you know, I experienced loss recently as well. And I think that, you know, the older I get, the more loss that I experience, obviously. And I know that different people grieve different. You know, we were talking earlier about how the pandemic has shut people down. And some people deal with grief, and it's extremely, not that there's a right or right way. Grief is one of those things that you navigate it as best you can, and whichever way works best for you. There's people that go through a severe depression and just shut down, and they don't bathe, they don't change, they leave the house only when it's absolutely necessary, and they completely just cannot keep moving because the loss is so debilitating. And then there's other people who find inspiration with that loss. Yeah. That loss, instead of debilitating you and stopping you from progressing, it inspires you. And when you said your mom is with you, and your mom is, and that to you, that's giving you light to move, to keep moving, to do it. And whether, right or wrong, not trying to get into anything philosophical, but if it works, then damn it, fucking use it. Use it I don't believe there's coincidences. No. I really don't believe there's coincidences. I think that shit happens for a reason. And there's, I've been, spirituality is something that I've wrestled with my whole life, because I've confused spirituality with religion a lot of times, and there's nothing could be more different, but I think I've made peace with that, and I am a big believer in faith. I am a big believer in, I think that there's something to be said for, if you don't believe it, then nobody else is going to fucking believe it. You have to believe it first, and believing and faith are the same thing. To believe something, you have to believe in something that faith is, by definition, the belief in something that is not seen, right?
Yeah.
And that is, that takes a leap no matter what side you're on. No matter what side you're on, you're taking that goddamn leap, right?
Oh, he's a believer now.
Yeah. She's opened up my third eye for sure.
Oh, there you go. You see what I'm saying? That's beautiful. So now you knock over this beautiful memory of his mother. You just desecrate it and throw it on the goddamn floor like an animal that you are.
She says, I'm his mama now.
You're like, let me just throw this lady on the goddamn ground here and make this motherfucker cry.
This made me snort.
Oh, good. Make sure it doesn't have fentanyl. I got some clean shit in Ceres if you need. No, I'm kidding. I kid. But anyway, I think you were used. By the end, I'm a big believer in energy of the people that have passed. I've been a believer in that for a very long time. Somehow you became a vessel to transmit that energy at that moment, and you guys were both on the same page. And then your aunt said, holy shit, that's your mama saying, let's go, let's do this shit. And then you said, hey man, I'm all in. Is that what happened?
That's pretty much what happened. Yeah.
And then what happened after that? You said, like, let's figure this out. Let's fucking start moving this. Let's start moving that. You started making moves.
We definitely started making moves. First of all, we said, first I asked Danny, what did we shoot on? And he's all, what did we shoot on?
The first one was Black Magic camera we shot on.
And I'm like, no, we need to upgrade big time, and let's get on the writing. Let's shoot episode 2, 3, 4, and 5. Fast forward, we ended up doing that, going back to episode 1. Episode 1, nope, not going to work. Let's reshoot that. And that's exactly what we did. We reshot everything at the quality of what it needed to be at.
Yeah, the pilot one that we shot, that one had a lot of magic. You know what I mean? It was super funny. Everybody was like, like pumped. You know what I mean? Not saying that they weren't on the rest of them, but when you all come in and you got that first, you know what I mean? It was funny. It was hilarious. But
it was that new love.
Yeah, and then as you go through the other episodes, and then you're shooting on red cameras now. Better sound. All this other stuff. Like you gotta go back and make that other one match. And we actually had, thankfully, we were able to almost recreate the very first one again, and we were able to add some stuff to kind of help the story that was, in it, and all this other stuff. Like the therapist scene was hilarious. I love the therapist scene.
Tying the shoes.
Yeah, tying the shoes, everything.
I'll never forget that day when you told me, luckily you're not here, Deanna. I'm like, why?
Oh, yeah.
Because well, we shot a scene, and I know for a fact this is something that you really wouldn't like. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Danny, tell
Who
me, what did
doesn't
you
like sucking a dick in a
shoot?
car?
Well, that's the whole point. I'm like,
I mean, tying
this is-
shoes.
Yeah, I mean, it's tying shoes. It was tying shoes.
And
Yeah.
it's a boy show. It's a man's show. And I said, you know what? Yes. And at the end of the day, when I was pitching the show, obviously, to the red carpet events, film festivals, obviously Comic-Con, I said it's PG-13 on the cusp. But again, it's just basically something that everybody's going to enjoy and they love. And sure enough, everybody loved episode 1.
There's a lot of innuendo.
Yeah, very
throughout the
much,
whole
yeah.
series. There's a lot of innuendo, which is, I mean, it's fine. I think if you catch it, it's because you already know. If you don't catch it, then you're fine.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's,
But yeah, that scene, you're definitely going to catch it. Like, you're definitely going to catch it. Like, I walked
the tying
in.
of the shoes.
Yeah, I walked in on that scene.
I thought it was very innocent, to be honest.
Thank
Just TBH.
Well, it's it's not that bad of a scene. It's really not. Like you said, but when you walk in and you see a girl head bobbing in a car, and you're like, I walked in, I was like, holy shit. I walked out for 1 minute. What happened?
What are you guys doing?
When did this turn into Nut Busters? And then once she said the line, I was like, oh, thank God. Like, thank God. You know what I mean? But
I love the callback later on when the girls are like, "Oh my God, I tie his
yeah.
shoes. I tie his shoes.
those
You
too."
tie his shoes." That was awesome. It was a great callback, and I like that you push the envelope like that.
Well-
I really, and it's not really pushing the envelope per se. There's a lot of stuff out there that's way more risque.
Yeah.
But I do get the vein that you're trying to stay in, and that's fair. I can respect that. But at the end of the day, I think people like real shit.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And that's, I tell people I write, well, I don't really write, but I create stuff that I'd want to watch. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm just one person, but I'm like, if it's funny, then it's funny. Let's make it. You know what I mean? But I tell people all the time, I'm like the average viewer. We were just having this conversation out there. Like, I don't have the eye or the ears where people are like, oh, the sound's off, or, that, this stuff is off. And that's why I said, like, I appreciate these comments because it helps me learn and grow. And I'm like, how the fuck do I get that eye that people have? Because they notice all this shit. You know what I mean?
no, I think like when and I'll be honest, when I watched the first episode, the first time I watched it, it was really rough around the edges, and I was like, oh shit. And then when I saw the premiere, I think I pulled you aside and I said, bro, you know what? I am pleasantly surprised. Like, this is leaps and bounds from the first drafts that I had seen, or the first versions that I had seen rather. It made me laugh. I think everybody that was in that theater that day enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think everybody was genuinely happy for you and the whole cast and the crew, because there's sometimes you go to enough freaking premieres and enough events, and you walk on like, God damn, what the fuck is this? And then you got to look at the motherfucker and be like, oh, it's good. I just don't. I'll just change the subject.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, fuck it, blah, blah,
I'm
blah.
not gonna
yada,
lie. There's
yada,
many times where I've asked, somebody and be like, is our stuff that bad? Like,
yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, so
'cause
you,
it's your baby. Like Deanna tells you all the time, it's your baby. Of course you want it. I got the cutest fucking baby. Look
Yeah.
at my baby. And it's like,
Yeah.
get that fucking thing
Dude,
out of my
I
face.
used to
But you know
I
what I
used
mean?
to do some fucking wacky shit, dude. Before I even did comedy, a friend of mine had a big giant camcorder, and in the living room we would shoot these sketches that we would just make up. Like, we'd just make up sketches and we'd fucking shoot them, and they were, probably horrible now in retrospect when I think about it. But I'm like, at that time, I'm like, how is this shit not on TV?
Right?
This is fucking, you gotta watch this. And then I slipped the VHS in, and people were like, what the fuck is this, right? But I was so proud of it, and there I was, just like, I would just sit there with people that I knew, this fucker has a camcorder. Let's make some funny shit. That gene was always there for some reason for me.
That's why I tell you, like we just said it, like just shoot it.
Just shoot it.
Look where it got you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing huge, comedy, stand-up specials, and all kinds of stuff, and it stems from you and your friends building a team, getting in front of that fucking camera, behind the camera, and just doing it. Like that's.
I think doing it. I had a friend at that time, and I remember he had done some extra work, and he loved comedy. And I remember telling him, "Hey man, I'm doing this open mic here. You should come." He's like, "No, you're fucking crazy." I go, "Bro, we do those sketches, and you're funny." He goes, "Yeah, but you can't go out there and do that." Like, and in his defense, I was of that persuasion, like, no, I can't do that. That's not for me. Until one day you just finally say, why the fuck not? Why can't I do that? Why can't I, do that? I've gotten to the point in my life where, fortunately or unfortunately, there's nothing I don't think I can. I don't sit there and say I can't do that. Like I think like wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, and even if somebody tells me, like some of the earlier arguments that me and my girlfriend would have was like, she goes, "Well, you can't do that." I go, "Why? Why?" Well, it's just I don't give a fuck. Whatever it is that got done at some point, people thought they couldn't do it, and it's like, no, I'm not gonna do. There's no can't. You can figure out how. Let's figure out how. Let's figure out how the fuck to do this. Like, there's nothing. There's really, if it got done, it can get done again, and it can get done better, and it can get done in your own lane. And there's really, like I said, fortunately or unfortunately, I feel that there's nothing I can't do.
Nope. And I try to tell a lot of people, I coached basketball, I coached football, all kinds of stuff with my kid, and I would tell the kids, like, what do you want to do? Well, I want to be a cook. Well, start now. You don't have to wait, to go to school, all this other stuff. I'm a perfect example of hard work will pay off. I'm from Madeira, which is a small town like 4 hours away from here. Mm-hmm. I got my son in over 40 fucking movies. And not as a background actor neither, which nothing against that. He's worked with David Arquette, he's been Jim Belushi's son. And I have no idea how to fucking do this shit, And then I went from there to starting to make movies and TV shows. Again, I don't even know what fucking camera we're using. I don't know what lights these are, microphones. I don't know any of this shit.
You just have a vision.
I let my team do their jobs. I surround myself with smart people. I listen. When I hire someone to do something, I let them do their fucking job because I have no idea what we're doing. I come in with an idea. We have everything set in place. I make sure everything they need. I'm like, what do you need? Like you said, what do you need? I remember we were filming one movie. They needed a 1976 fucking diesel in a trailer that worked. And I found one. Like, it's not that hard. You just
And you know what somebody told me at one time too? Like, don't write something that you don't have.
Yeah.
Write around the shit that you already have access to.
Yep.
If you already have access to a goddamn this, then put that in there. But if you say, hey, I need a goddamn robot making machine, blah 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 blah, you're probably gonna be fucking paused for a while. Yeah. So yeah, the more simple, keep it simple, right? Yeah. Keep it fucking simple. Back to Ghetto Busters. This thing, like I said, when I heard Ghetto Busters, I'm like, okay, another but I'm very judgmental, and it's my flaw. It's a huge flaw because a lot of times I don't even give things a chance. When I remember East Los High, when East Los High came out, I go, God damn it, what are they doing now with these cholos? And we got cholos in the goddamn high school. What are these motherfuckers gonna be doing? And then I saw it, and I'm like, this is well done.
Yeah,
this is really, really well done. Like. And I kicked myself for not, jumping on the bandwagon. But it became one of the most viewed shows on Hulu.
It's true.
Yeah.
It was huge.
It's
and it proves how much people are hungry for content, where they see themselves, But
I don't mean to interrupt you. Seriously.
No, please do.
On a serious note, though, Martin, what I do find very challenging right now, because right now Ghetto Busters is still being pitched. It's still being pitched both domestically and internationally. But having our own community of Latinos and Latinas come in to support our show, that right there has been very challenging, very challenging. And over here, we're supposed to be supporting each other with our projects, elevating each other, lifting each other up. But, you know, I am finding out along the way that they're kind of like, hey, you got something great. Let's see what you can do on your own. And that whole support system is not there. It is not there. So all the Latino filmmakers, producers out there who are on that percentage of being on the top, still give back to your community, give back to your producers, but for the most part, give back to your actors and your dreamers, because it's because of everybody out there who has made it to that top level to basically, hopefully, you know, have that type of either opportunity for them, because at the end of the day, that whole support system with our community of Latinos, it's still not there. It's still not there.
It's fascinating to hear that in 2022 now, you know, because I always hear being in entertainment, you always hear how African Americans open up doors for each other. They open up doors. We were talking about network television earlier, and we're talking about Latino shows on network television. African Americans have had representation, whether it was stereotypical or not. It was still representation. You know, I can go back to my personal recollection would be in that 70s show. I think it was a 70s show called Good Times, right?
yeah.
With Jimmy Walker.
That's a good one.
And it was blacks living in the projects. Okay. Also in the 70s, you had Sanford and Son, a black dude with his son, and he collects goddamn garbage. Okay. Very, very stereotypical things. You had Fat Albert, black kids playing in the goddamn junkyard, right? Very stereotypical shows. Then you go into the 80s, and now you've got the Cosby Show. You know, then you go into the 90s, you've got the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Then you've got Blackish shows up. The evolution, to see that evolution to where it is it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And we've never got to experience that. You know, the first Chico and the Man in the 70s, unfortunately, that was a horrible loss, you know, Freddie Prinze. He played a mechanic, you know. The George Lopez Show, you know, he's a blue collar guy. And then again, those are the only two. And after that, it's like,
well, there was one with Freddie Prinze Jr. Forget the name of the show. I think it was Freddie Prinze Jr. where he plays. He lives in Chicago with his mom, and I think I can't remember the name of the show though. But he was like an ad executive, I think, is what he was on that show.
okay.
A little bit of progression, a little bit.
And, you know, but again, there's you know, and I just named big shows. There's plenty of other African American shows that that have been on television, right? Martin, a ton of them. But with the brown community specifically, the Latinos, Chicanos, Mexican Americans, it's not that whether, because, you know, a lot of times the stories weren't being written by us, and that's our fault. You know, that's our fault. We should have been putting fucking, you know, pen to paper and creating these stories. Because when you think about a movie like La Bamba, you had a Filipino play the star, right?
The star, yeah.
You know, I mean, that's was there no fucking brown kids that wanted to play fucking Richie Valens?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And that's what Deanna has obviously opened the opportunity for a lot of Latino and scripts and everything to be, you know, Mexican American based. But again, including a lot of us Latino filmmakers, producers, actors, actresses to come in and obviously have the opportunity to come and film on a platform with projects that, again, you know, us as a team, we've been able to create now, you know, to get to distribution, because that's really important. Because at the end of the day, why are we all doing this for? We're doing this for everybody to expand and for everybody to realize, again, you can have that bigger picture. You can have a completed project for a lot of people to witness and see. But again, the opportunity to put it out there for everybody and to have that American dream come true of having their film, or in this case, sitcom, or, you know, our parody show to go ahead and move forward and get picked up by Tubi. And when it comes to someone like Deanna, he gives that opportunity to all of us. He gave me the opportunity as a woman, you know, to come in and do what I do best. And I love his line, by the way. And it's not a line, because when he says, yes, go ahead, I hired you to do a job, just go and do the best job you can do. And that's his line for me all day long, too. And I trust you. I'm like, no, don't trust me.
You know, Deanna, it sounds like you wear multiple hats.
Yes,
You know, you're
she
an
definitely
actress,
does.
you're a producer, you're and you're also, to an extent, a PR person.
And that's just the Hollywood stuff. I mean, she's a freaking realtor. Her and her husband have a solar company that she runs with. You know what I mean? And I mean, there's just sometimes I don't know how this woman does it in a day. I don't really know how she does it all in a day.
I'm married to Hitler. All day long. And yes, I'm getting political. I'm sorry.
She's like, hey, I got this project sold, and I'm going to a house right now that I'm going to sell right now.
Dude, the real estate, I'm not to change the subject, but the real estate market is freaking bananas right now. Why are people overpaying for shit and paying cash offers? Well, how, where in the hell? We just got out of a pandemic and people are showing up talking about, I'll give you 100,000, 200,000 above asking price. Boom, here's the money.
Because the government gave the money. They gave SBA loans, unemployment. So what other, purpose but to spend the government's money on, something that they have control over?
Jesus, it's fascinating, dude. It's the amount of, like I said,
and if you did it right, I hope they took advantage of the stocks of everything dropping, and now it's all back up again.
Oh, dude, yeah, the market's crazy, man. You know, my portfolio took a hit, but luckily I have diamond hands, and you just gotta hodl. Ape's not going nowhere. Strong. I don't know shit about the market.
Me neither. I hired someone, and that's why I'm retired now.
So now you shot 5 episodes of Ghetto Busters. Now it's on streaming on Tubi. Everybody can go to Tubi. It's a free app. It's a free app, and at this point, is there membership on there, or is it just ad driven?
No, I believe it's just ad driven. Like, there's no membership, no nothing, and
so you can go in there and watch so many things for free.
So much stuff, for
including Ghetto Busters.
Yep, including Ghetto Busters.
Yes. So,
and that's one of the reasons why I went to Ghetto Busters. I mean, to Tubi. That's why I put it on Tubi. From the beginning, I told Deanna, like, I don't want to put it on somewhere where someone's going to charge, like we were talking about this Hulu. And I still can't find the free version of Hulu.
Chiki, there's a free version of Hulu, yes?
No, it's the monthly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a month for free. That's it. And then after that, it charges you.
$1.99 a month.
Oh.
Okay, so here I am thinking, there's Hulu's free, and just watch it, and you just got to watch the ads and the Old Navy commercials.
See, he's so wealthy, he doesn't have to check his bank account. That Hulu's taking out $20 a month on his account.
No.
Yeah.
Netflix just upped their prices to what?
Oh, yeah, it's like $20.
Wow. So Netflix is now at $20 for a 4-screen account.
Yeah.
And by the way, shout out to Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, listen, the price of shrimp is up, so I can imagine Netflix is up too.
Yeah. But the whole reason,
gas is $6 a gallon. How the hell is Netflix staying so competitive? We gotta raise the prices, says Bezos. We're going to 20. These monkeys will pay it.
And we do.
And we do. How do we live without Netflix?
You can't.
Chiki, what happened to Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's crazy. $60, $70 a month for live TV. That used to be free.
I think at some point it might have been. By the time I got on Hulu.
Oh, you're so young. No, I'm talking about live TV. Period was free.
Yeah, oh,
you,
yeah.
you just watch TV.
But now if you want to watch CBS Plus, it's like $5.99 a month.
Yeah,
for
it's not just
CBS
regular
Plus.
CBS.
Yeah,
It's CBS Plus.
It's like I got CBS. Like, why do I got to pay to go watch something on CBS?
Well,
Like,
that's CBS Plus, bro.
yeah, I know.
It's like, you
Paramount
know.
Plus. They got
He
all
still
the good
pays for
fucking shows
Pornhub.
on there.
He still pays for Pornhub?
Oh yeah,
Bro, I
that's-
got a code. Don't
You
stop
got a
it.
code?
No, I don't got no
Oh,
code.
see, but this is why the Latinos got to help each other out, man.
We got to open up doors.
That Pornhub window door.
We got to see Deanna's freaking beauty queen.
In that case, Danny's on Pornhub all day long.
But honestly, like that's the whole reason, from the beginning,
Because
actually,
it's free. And you want
because
you want
it's-
people to see it.
I want our cast to be seen.
Sure.
You know what I mean? If I went to, we went to Fox, we already know what they're gonna do. They're gonna buy us, shelve us, if we're lucky. You know what I mean? And then recast it with a bunch of white people. You know what I mean? Or something. You know what I mean?
Danny, they don't do that.
Well,
I'm kidding.
I know.
You got
but,
tons of sarcasm, brother.
but you know what I mean? Like, so I wanted us to be somewhere where our cast, our crew can see what we can do. You know?
Listen, I know I keep hogging up the conversation, and I'm sorry. I got to get better at this. But when you say some things like that, all I could think of is it's so important to keep control because immediately it happens, and I've seen it time and time again. You say, this is my vision, this is what I want, and this is what I see. Yeah, that's good, but if we put this person here and this person here and this person, and all of a sudden, everything that you had, the magic that you had here, you're trying to now, there's nothing like organic magic. Trying to create organic magic, you can't bottle it. If you could bottle that shit, everybody would be a superstar. Yeah. And so it's so important to maintain that control. And so props to you for saying, hey man, no, I'm not going there, and no, I'm not switching shit up. This is my vision, this is what I see, and this is what we're putting out there. If the people like it, the people will speak. And and at the end of the day, use this example before, I'm going to use it again because that's what I do here at the Yo 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 podcast. My favorite scene in the movie Gladiator, when he's a slave and he's fighting his ass off. You saw Gladiator,
Yeah.
right? You saw Gladiator.
Love that movie.
And then the alcoholic guy that in real life died of alcoholism, the dude that plays the guy that owns all the gladiators, he looks at him and he says, win the crowd and you'll win your freedom. That line right there is one of the most beautiful lines ever spoken in a movie and in real life. Because when you have the crowd, can nobody fucking stop you.
Yeah.
That's true.
Once you fucking have the crowd, you have real freedom. When the people love you, you have freedom. Look, Chappelle pissed off a lot of people. Not trying to get into whether rightly so or not, doesn't matter. But the man's still out there, and people are still buying tickets to go see him because he already won the crowd. He has his freedom. He has his freedom to say the N-word. He has his freedom to talk about the LGBTQ plus community. Again, whether right or wrong, the man has that freedom to do that in a way that most people are bound. Hey, you can't say that, you motherfucker.
Nope.
That's offensive. Wait, but no. He already won the crowd, you fuck. When you win the crowd, then you can do that too. And I think that when you put stuff out, the more stuff you put out, eventually you're going to find your goddamn tribe. All you hear is Beethoven's hits. Which there were a lot of hits. But how much shit did he create that didn't make it? He must have created a bunch of shit that was just like, that's garbage.
Yep.
Can't fucking put that out there, But there's way more misses than there are hits. The problem, not the problem, but the thing is, keep on fucking swinging and keep on putting shit out there. I think the people that I know that have watched Ghetto Busters, it's entertaining, it's lighthearted. You're not gonna piss people. You might piss some people off, obviously. People get pissed off. People are just looking for a reason to get pissed off. You know, how come you didn't have people getting vaccinated and use your voice to fucking save the planet from this disastrous COVID? And I'm not.
It's
you know, how come you didn't use your platform to elevate? You know, blah 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 blah. Shut the fuck up, because this is my platform and this is what I want to do with it. I mean, no, am I right or wrong?
No, I mean you're right. I've actually had messages that I don't want to bring up, but there are people that feel like like you said they got mad, and I'm like, what are you getting mad? I'm doing something for my culture. Like what are you getting mad over? You know what I mean?
And also, I want to give a shout out to the cast, because super talented.
Yes.
And these aren't household names.
No.
They're not household names, but
Not yet.
Not yet. Hey, listen, you visual.
We're still manifesting this.
You keep visualizing and manifesting, because you're onto something there,
Believe
dude.
me, when that international distribution hits,
Boom.
Take off city.
That's beautiful. And now, look, we talked about Citra Campos.
Yeah.
Just not only is he talented, but he's a great person.
Very great person.
When
you first meet him, you think like, oh my God,
he's
this guy's
intimidating.
huge.
Yeah.
This, that. But he really is a definition of a teddy bear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, really awesome guy. Love being around him on set. Very professional. Knows his lines. Everything. Down for his brotherhood. I mean, you can't say enough about him. He's an amazing guy. Yeah, doggy.
Yeah.
you got that down pretty well, there, Danny.
And then you got Ricky Montez.
Ricky Montez, yes.
Ricky Montez plays the part of Savio.
Yep. Sex
and
symbol.
Now the dude's hot.
Yeah, I mean he really is. That's why I put him shirtless in every episode.
How do you not?
How
did you not put him shirtless?
Six-pack.
Just
chest, you know what I mean?
He should be out there freaking in some freaking coochie cutter shorts, freaking washing a car right there, like doing a car wash for the homies right there.
No, yeah,
you know what I mean? Because the dude, he takes care of himself.
He really does.
I don't know what he eats or if he eats.
I think that's a visual for me. I want to see him in some Daisy Dukes, some cutoffs.
I know what he eats. He doesn't eat no meat. That's what he eats.
He eats no meat.
Nah, he's lactose intolerant, or is it no cheese?
Lactose.
It's no cheese.
Oh, no cheese. It's no cheese.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Ricky, same thing. I actually met Ricky the same time I met Deanna for the same audition. We were having an audition for one of our other TV shows that we were working on.
That's shelved right now at the moment.
It's one of those things where I told you, like, Hollywood picks it up, and it's been 4 years. We're still waiting on this process. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things. But
the dude is talented. He's a trained actor.
Yeah, very, very good actor. I mean, you watch a lot of these commercials. Like he's in a commercial with Mike Tyson. Mm-hmm. He sends me messages like every day. Like, look where I'm at today. I'm like, holy crap, dude.
Yeah,
like,
he works. He's
works.
a working actor.
He is a hard working actor. He just had a movie come out, San Antonio. Dang it, I can't remember. Great little role in that one. He's got he's a great freaking guy, man.
And he's got a work ethic, because he's one of them dudes that's like, he's constantly. This is the big problem that not problem, but I think this is a handicap for a lot of us, and I include myself in this. Pick up the fucking phone and make the call and ask the question. Mm-hmm. He does that.
Yep.
He does that, and he follows up with people when you meet people. Yep. I've met plenty of people where I'm like, yeah, dude, hit me up when you're around and let's hang out. I could count the number of people that have hit me up. Right. And we've built relationships off of that, hey, yeah, I'm in town. Let's hang out. All right, let's hang out. We hang out. And before you know it, we've developed a relationship, not a physical relationship or anything like that, but just a relationship, working relationship. And I think that Ricky, to his credit, is really good at doing that.
Yeah. He's really good.
And he's talented as hell.
Yeah. And he's very, like you said, very talented.
And then you've got, of course, your star. Well, there's a lot of other people, and I want you to give them credit. I just want to I'm talking about your core group there. And Deanna. We've obviously talked about you being the hot mom.
Yeah.
Hot mom metaphor, because I'm always pissed off.
I think it's it works in a lot of ways. The hot mom.
Yes.
And you know which concrete.
Yeah.
Yes.
Concrete.
Christian Gutierrez.
You've met a lot of funny people. You know what I mean? And this guy is just hilarious. Like, you know, I call him a mix between The Rock and Jim Carrey. That's who I see him as. You know, a lot of people don't really see it because when you see him on TV, whatever. But I mean, he's tall. You know what I mean? His facial expressions that he makes is just. There's plenty of times where I'm on, you know, Instagram, and because you know he does a lot of stuff on social media too, where I don't even have to have my volume up, and he's on a boat on Titanic, like, you know, and I don't even have to hear it. I'm laughing just from watching it. Like, that's how talented he is. That you don't even have to hear what he's saying to laugh. Like, you know,
he has that. I'm gonna say it factor.
Yeah.
And what is that, Martin? What is the it factor? If you don't know, then go fuck yourself. You don't know.
You don't have it.
Then you don't have it. You have no business knowing.
And I have a story behind that one too, Martin.
No, please go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh
Please
my
go ahead.
God.
Now get on the mic and tell that
This
story.
is a good story right here. This really is a good story.
Obviously, when we were booked, Danny booked us at a hotel locally, and literally at 7 o'clock in the morning, I see this gentleman walking across the room, and I'm staring at him, and I don't mean to sound the way it comes out. By the way, Concrete, you are very handsome, but I have a certain type of men that I like. I like a Ken doll. I mean, if you see my husband, he
Your
looks
husband's
like,
hot too.
He looks like a Ken doll, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm looking
Shout
at
out
this
to
guy.
Uriah.
Exactly, he's amazing. I see Concrete, and I didn't know his name yet, but I see him, and I see him walking through the room, and I just look at him. We lock eyes for a moment, and he walks out the door, and I'm like, you know, that guy is, I don't know, captivating, something about him. So sure enough, my car comes and picks me up. I arrive on set, and there's Concrete, and I'm like, I knew it. And that day when I saw him on set for the first time, I even told him, I said, you're going to be a star. I have your back. You're going to be a star.
I hadn't met Concrete until the day that I ended up on the set that day, last summer, or not last summer, 2 summers ago. Almost 2 summers ago. My God, time's flying. And I met him, and I thought he was an actor. You know, he's an actor, and he is an actor.
Yeah, he is.
But I had no idea about his social media and the sketches that he did, you know. So when I went on his page, a lot of times people say, follow me, or, you know, whatever. And he didn't say follow me. You know, I found him and I checked him out. But a lot of times you go in an account, all right, I followed them. Every once in a while they'll post up a picture and I'll fucking like it if I happen to, you know, if it pops up when I'm on the thing, you know.
On the toilet.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but I went on his page and I found myself sucked in, you know. A lot of times Instagram recommends things, you know, for me it recommends yoga chicks. For some reason, fucking chicks that are spreading their legs, talking about what does this make you think of as I'm doing this salutation to the sun. It makes me think of your big ass muff right there that's got a close up, and I don't know what the hell peace and tranquility have to do with that big ass fucking, it's beautiful. But that's what it, and that's what it knows I'll engage with, so it feeds me that, right? And I can get lost fucking just checking out all these poses of freaking, you know, culos and everything, you know, on yoga and stretching. I love stretching. I
don't do it personally.
I know. I started stretching. I've been stretching more and more nowadays. Like I've been trying to stretch at least 3 to 4 times a
Stretching
week.
your fingers.
Stretching everything. I'm trying to stretch my back, my legs, todo el pelo. I stretch. But I see these women stretching. I'm like, this is a beautiful fucking stretch. And then they, God bless them. And I can get lost in there. Concrete's page found me clicking. I wanted to see the other video. What other video didn't I see? What other video? And they're all very funny.
Yep.
They're all super engaging. They're all silly, fun, creative, and he's also charismatic. He's likable.
What's crazy? The story, you know, of how we, you know, got Concrete. So one of my partners, Jaime, lyrics, you know, he's been with me from, you know, beginning, and he was supposed to play Jalapeno. You know what I mean? That's who we were supposed to play. And you know, I think you were there when he told the story at the Chinese theater. You know, he was like, "Look, I think you need to cast this guy. He's freaking hilarious." And I was like, "Okay, I can give two shits about how many Instagram followers you have, because at the end of the day, it doesn't translate." You know what I mean? So he was like, "Oh, watch him," and I was like, "Okay." So he showed me, like you said, I got sucked in. You see his face, you see, you know, like that something. There's
panza.
something there. You know what I mean? And that's literally what I went off of when we casted him for it. I was just like, "Oh yeah, I think he's good." And then you meet him, and he's just an amazing, you know, humble, sweet guy. You know
He's
what I mean?
fearless.
Yeah. And
People want to look good. People want to be all like, "What's my?" This motherfucker's like, "Let's go."
yeah.
Let's go. He doesn't. There's people that need the pomp and circumstance of you. This dude's just he can wake up and be funny.
Yeah.
He can wake up and be funny, and which is a rare thing. He can wake up and, you know, a lot of people before they go and make a post, it's like, is this a perfect filter? Is this a this? Is this a that? Is blah 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 yada yada. He don't give a fuck.
No.
He don't give a shit. If it's funny, it's funny. And that's what I said earlier. You know, if your shit is good, people will gravitate to
Yeah.
it. You don't need to beg anybody. They'll be like, "Oh, shit, this shit is good."
Yeah.
That's what Concrete brings. And he brings that to the table because he literally steals the show.
He does.
No disrespect to anybody else on the project, but Concrete steals the show. He literally is a showstopper.
Yeah.
You know?
And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that, you know, the beauty of Ghetto Busters is, you know, we kind of give, you know, of course, you know, like every show, this is what we want to shoot. Let's try to get this shot, blah, blah, blah. But we also let them go.
You let him riff.
We let them go. And it's beautiful to see, because you can't write that shit. Like there's one scene where, where they're teleporting for the first time, Mr. Tangus, and he, gets ready and he goes, "That guy deserves to be wrapped in an American flag." You know what I mean? Like, just when that line he said it, you know what I mean? When you're watching it, like, you can't write that.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stuff that, God, I feel horrible for the editors, because they had tons and tons of footage, outtakes. My wife would love watching the outtakes. She would just be like, "Oh, show me that one again. That one, it's hilarious." You know what I mean? So we would sit there and just laugh off his outtakes alone. You know what I mean? And, but like I said, it all originated from his Instagram page. And like, I normally don't, do it that way, but like you said, when you see something special,
Yeah. And props to Lyrics for doing that.
yeah, no, big props to him. Like, he's been with us since the beginning.
But for him to take a step back and say, "This guy could kill it,"
yeah,
that very few people will do that.
no, yeah, you're right. I mean,
Most people are threatened and insecure,
Yeah.
and they don't want that. They don't want somebody else, and that's what we were talking about earlier. Giving that hand to somebody and saying, "Hey, let's all fucking help each other out here." There's room for everybody, and if this dude can do it better, then so be it. Let him fucking do it. You know,
Yeah,
get out of the way.
That's why we're a great film family, because, Martin, you know as well, we're working on other projects together. You can't pay for that kind of chemistry between one another. But the dysfunctional in front of the scenes, behind the scenes, no matter what, it's magic. And it's really hard to create that. But in this case, someone like Christian, or AKA Concrete, he's pretty much a one-man show. And that's why at the end of the day, I'm always there, and I'm like, I need to manage this guy. I need to like push him. I need to do this, need to do that. But everything comes in good timing.
Yeah,
it
so
really does.
so he stands out. And then if you want to go through the rest of your
Yeah, I
your
definitely
cast,
want
that'd be
to. I don't
great.
want to leave anybody out.
Yeah.
Like I said, we got Deanna. She's on the show. Plays Hot Mom. She's like the Charlie to the Angels. You know what I mean? You got to watch the show to find out why. We got Ryan Ochoa.
That's right, Bucky.
Bucky. He plays Bucky. Ryan Ochoa, like I said, even though I've been filming for my stuff for like 4 years, I've staged that for a long time, and that's how I met Ryan Ochoa. We were at an event, and this time Ryan Ochoa was on iCarly's, like all kinds of stuff, and the family actually was really great to my son. You know what I mean? And like, just made a really good connection. I appreciated, how they were for us and all this other stuff. And then once I started getting to my own things and started like, I waited. I didn't do it on the very first one. I waited till we kind of knew what the fuck we were doing a little bit before I called somebody. You know what I mean? And then once we worked out the kinks and was like, all right, I think we're professional now. Let's start doing some
Deanna,
shit.
do
You
your
know what I mean? But that's because again, you don't want to waste nobody's time. You want to make sure you're bringing in someone of that level. You know what I mean? That's been on tons of TV shows and all this other stuff.
He's a Disney kid, correct?
Disney kid. Nickelodeon. He's done a bunch of movies. Been in tons of stuff. So I called him. And they came down. We've done a couple projects together and.
And I shouldn't say kid. He's a young man now.
Yeah, it's hard for us, as we get older. Your son's 31, and you still think he's your baby. The same as mine. You know what I mean? But he taught me something. Like he keeps like a box of all his outfits that he's on each set. You know what I mean? And like he has a Ghetto Busters box that this is his shoes he wore, this is the pants he wore. Blah, blah. And I was just like, that's how prepared and how professional he is. You know what I mean? And just an amazing person. Like,
bro, I couldn't find my goddamn belt this morning.
Right? You know what I mean? And so
I've been wearing nothing but elastic, and all of a sudden I was like, I need a belt. Where's my belt? Chiki, where's my belt? Did you move my belt?
But he's just very professional, very easy to work with. Just a great person in general. Besides the acting part, you know what I mean? Like, he's a great actor, but besides the acting part, just a great human being that I love being around.
I met him at the premiere. Super cool guy, super chill guy.
So talented too.
Yeah.
Seriously, he raps, creates music with his brothers. They create content. You're gonna have to really watch for him. He's definitely he's ready to take over Hollywood himself.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got Ryan Ochoa.
Yeah. So we talked about Citric, Ricky, Concrete, Deanna, Ryan.
Larynx, who plays my son.
Lyrics, the guy that's supposed to be Jalapeno now plays Carlos, the bad guy. He's not really a bad guy though, but he's just, he's trying to avenge his mom's death. You know what I mean?
Sure.
He, dang, gave too much away a little bit.
No,
but
you're
yeah,
good.
I mean, he's trying to avenge his mom's death. He does really good in the show. He's been in the business himself for a long time too. Same thing, music. He's, got tons of albums out, all kinds of stuff. Max plays White Boy Ray, the original White Boy Ray. The gag was we wanted to, kill a Ghetto Buster every episode. You know what I mean? And just bring someone new in all the time.
Dude, I love the fact that somebody died right away. I mean, I'm like, this is some Game of Thrones shit.
Yeah.
Not elevating the show to Game of Thrones status, but I'm like, it's cool when you see somebody get whacked. It's like, oh shit, what the fuck? I didn't see that coming.
And
you whacked a couple people.
Well,
that's one of our taglines.
Okay. Yeah.
You never know if they're going to be coming back dead or what.
Dead or alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's pretty much everybody on the show's died, and they were supposed to be dead, but everybody was like, dude, I want to stay on the show. Like, I love this show. I want to stay on the show.
Funny.
Like, I don't want to die. Like, people were like, it was like, dude, we already wrote you out though. Like,
you're like Hindus over there with a bunch of freaking what is that? The reincarnation.
But you know what the crazy thing is, what it comes back to is like, I don't really think it's the show is why they want to stay on. Like, the show's great. Yes, it's funny. It's stupid. Everybody has a blast.
I love the political message that it has. The social commentary is goddamn brilliant.
Yeah.
No, it's the Ghetto Busters after hours at the Airbnb is what you guys do.
Yeah.
It's like everybody out there right now is like, oh, we got to say something. We got to, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know what? Sometimes people just want to be fucking entertained.
Yeah, that's it. And that's what the show is like.
Yeah.
And we'll get back to that right now. But like, what it is like, Ryan, Citric, Lyrics, Concrete, Ricky, they're family. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, they're not just some actors I know. You know what I mean? I always tell people, like, my goal at the end of the day is whether I'm filming tomorrow or not, I want to go hang out with you fuckers. You know what I mean? Like, I want to chill. Like, for you guys in this area, let's go barbecue. If I'm up there, hey, if you guys can, let's swing out and meet somewhere, let's go somewhere and eat. Like, after this, there's a guy that, worked on our crew that just landed a huge fucking job. And I'm taking him out to go celebrate. You know what I mean? Because to us, it's not about the Hollywood shit. For me, it's about making real connections with people at the end of the day. And that's why I think a lot of people like coming back to our sets. There's so many people that have come to our sets as guests or this or that. And they're like, how do I get on the crew? how do I get on set? Like, I just want to come because we barbecue, we hang out, we have fun. I mean, you've been there. I mean, when we were filming at the thing, fuck, how many people were there in that picture that we took? There was like 40, 50 people, if not more. You know what I mean?
And then you have your the documentary crew.
The BTS guys,
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of people collaborating together to make stuff happen. You know what I mean? Like I tell people from the beginning, yes, am I the face? You know, this beautiful face. You know, even though Deanna's the actual face, but you know,
move out of the way, beauty queen.
Yeah, move out of the way. But you know, like she said, like we're trying to open up the doors for a lot of, you know, Hispanic companies. You know what I mean? LC1 is a huge one.
And so why do you have a white girl running the whole operation?
NBC told me I had to hit their quota. So no, you know what I love about Dee Dee, which that's one of the last characters I think we'll talk about is Dee Dee.
I'm opening doors for all these Latinos, but I got a white girl to reel all these motherfuckers in. Listen to the white lady.
You know,
Politically correct.
she's you know, ghetto is not a color.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, ghetto's not a color. Just because we're Hispanic don't mean we're ghetto. Just because you're, African American don't mean you're ghetto. You know, ghetto's in all races. You know what I mean? And Dee Dee's ghetto. You know what I mean? She's ghetto. I love her. She's actually probably my favorite character on the show, which, and like I said, there's a ton of great talent in the show. We
She's
got
a natural.
G in there. You're in there. Javon is in there. You know what I mean? Like, we got a lot of great talent. She's a local talent. She's from my hood, you know what I mean, my area. She's from Visalia. She's been putting in a lot of work, behind the scenes on trying to get, her own career going off. And, when we first were trying to cast White Boy Ray, like, Alicia Ingram is such a good actress. I thought she could play White Boy Ray. I was like, because we couldn't find that person to play White Boy Ray. And I was telling my cousin, I was like, dude, I'm telling you, she's good. She can do it. And he was like, no, it's got to be a dude. And he's like, we'll write her a role of, secretary. And, that's kind of how it started off. It was just a role just to get her in there. And then he actually seen her, one of her other stunts that, one of her other movies that she's on. He actually seen her and he was like, dude, like, she is fucking good. And I was like, dude, I'm telling you.
No, she's talented.
And
super talented.
And she is the only, she can keep up with the guys. You know what I mean? In the show, like, she's sarcastic.
What are you saying, that women can't keep up with guys, Danny? You toxic
See,
motherfucker.
his real is coming out.
You toxic male masculinity. What the hell? Where have you been all these years? We missed you here at the Yo 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 podcast.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like,
I'm fucking.
No, I know you are, but I don't
Yeah,
mean
I
like,
mess with him a
I don't
lot.
mean like she can keep up. Like she is very talented at improv. If you give her some punches, she can throw them right back, and she made that for her role. You know what I mean? Like, she's the one that made us keep putting her in it because she's so damn good. You know what I mean? And that's how you keep your character on, is being, very professional on set. She's a mom, she's, a wife, she's got kids, but she was always there on set. Never complained about, I got to leave, I got to do this, I got to go do that. You know what I mean? And those are people you want to work with. People that give you 110%, don't make no excuses. They get the fucking job done. And let's go. It doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, anything. You know what I mean? It's just, let's just work. And she's my favorite character.
She's great. She's
And
great.
she's really down to earth, Martine. I mean, she's somebody you want to hang out with. Seriously, she really is. And all day long, Alicia, I hang out with you any day. You got to remember, actually, we had the interview with Laugh Factory, and they asked in a future episode if we had something going on, and she says, "Well, maybe."
Dude, so look, I'm telling you guys, I want to say just congratulations, because you're living proof that if you want to do it, fucking do it.
Yep.
The fact that you're saying, I don't know what equipment to use, and you come in and you're like, well, this is what we use, and it's just a matter of starting. Once you put one foot in front of the other fucking foot, you're on your way.
Yep.
You're on your way. So congratulations to you guys. You've got Ghetto Busters streaming on Tubi for free Download the app. It costs you nothing. Not only are you going to get Ghetto Busters, but you're going to get a ton of programming. Shows that you forgot existed. The greatest American hero is on this freaking app.
Yeah.
Dude, I scrolled through their menu.
A lot of fun stuff.
Oh my, fun stuff. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
No.
Kung Fu and titties? Are you shitting me? You haven't lived until you've seen a gorilla doing Kung Fu. Shout out to the homie Mike Moreno on Kung Fu and titties. Had no idea he was on that movie. There's so much stuff on there, and Ghetto Busters is on there. Now, talk to me. What's you're the vision woman. What's next for Ghetto Busters?
What is next?
Where is it
for
going
Ghetto
from
Busters?
Tubi? There's 5 episodes. There's going to be people that say, fuck this show. But then there's going to be a lot of people that say, you know what? I want more of this shit. What do you say to the people that want more of this shit?
Well, just keep tuning in, supporting the actors with what.
Okay,
you're
well, there's only
doing.
5. How are you going to tune into anything else? What do we do?
Well, we do have some BTS going up on YouTube.
Behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes, correct. And we
Okay.
do have, obviously, Concrete, who creates, content almost on a daily basis. We got Ricky coming out and plenty of commercials.
But I'm saying,
there's
where's more Ghetto Busters coming?
that you have to ask the boss,
All right.
because at the end of the day, guess what? He does all the calls, I do the work, and
Okay.
what is going to be happening with Ghetto Busters? Boss?
I know, I don't mean to put you on the spot
No,
like that.
no,
I love it.
Ghetto Busters, we definitely want to take it into, more episodes, all this other stuff. We have a writer's retreat coming up that we want to, get together with, the actors to kind of see where they want their characters to go. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, it's not just my show. Like, these guys are heavily invested, too, in this show. You know what I mean? So, we already got a couple scripts out, for the second episode for the Vegas one. Ricky, wrote another episode that he's got, now it's just trying to fine tune it, get it ready, and start shooting season 2 or part 2. I think is the best way to put it is season 1, part 2.
I love that it's you don't have to invest an hour into each episode.
No.
You go in there and you're in and out. It's so bit you can binge it. You could binge it and then just get your fix.
Yeah.
Again, I can't congratulate you guys enough. I respect the shit out of both of you. You are you're hard workers, you're talented, and you're fucking hustlers, and you have to hustle in this business. Otherwise, nobody's gonna come and do it for you. So keep on killing it. I know you have other projects as well under Falcon Pictures.
Yes.
You just had a screening
Well,
red carpet event last night.
Yeah, we were just had a red carpet event last night for another show that we worked on called My Big Heist. We got a bunch of other stuff, but I think me and Deanna we're coming up with a new production company, because she really is like my right hand person. You know what I mean? Left hand and right hand. You know what I mean? Like, she does a lot. And we were thinking of, because we're both D's, so it was like Double D Productions. I think is what we're gonna. We had to announce that on Martine's. Double D Productions is probably where we're gonna have to start going under, because
BNE.
BNE.
Big nipple energy.
Big nipple energy.
Because there's BDE out there.
But no, like.
But we got we got BNE.
Yeah. But no, like, between me and her, she runs Deanna Land Productions. I run Falcon Pictures, and we both have a common goal of, just helping out as many people as we can. It doesn't matter, where you started, where you're at. You know what I mean? Like, we want to put the best projects together, and, we got array of things. We got horror, we got comedy, we got, human trafficking. That's a great. The product is an amazing script. It sheds light on a lot of human trafficking and stuff like that, and it's a great script. You know what I mean? That you can't. It's an amazing script. I read it the other day, and I called her, and I was like, "Holy shit! Like, this is good. Like,
That's
it's
heavy
really
stuff.
Good. Yeah,
That's
and
heavy.
So we don't just do comedy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's why I tell people, like, Hollywood, like you said, there's not very many stuff out there, about Latinos and all this other stuff. And, our thing is like, let's just make great fucking content with Hispanic leads. Like, that's what kind of way I like to do it. You know what I mean? Is make something great and, cast a bunch of Latinos in it, mixed in with a bunch of other people. You know what I mean? And,
just like life.
Yeah.
It's just like life. You know, you got every flavor, and I think that's what makes it. That's what makes it good. You know, you can't have too much of just one thing.
No.
A bag of M&Ms.
So that's all right, guys. Thank you again for coming. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Yo Podcast. Actually, where can they find you? Where can they, if they want to reach out to you on social media or website?
You can find me at Deanna Molle at Instagram, Deanna Molle1 on Twitter, and Deanna Molle on Facebook.
Yeah. I actually have no social media.
Good for
I
you.
just have Falcon Pictures LLC on Instagram and I think Facebook. Other than that, I don't have any social media.
Dude, that is so cool. I shouldn't say I don't enjoy social media. I do. It's just a double-edged sword because it does take, and then you start realizing, man, because I used to just put whatever the hell came to my mind, and I didn't give a shit. And even the other day, I reposted somebody because how drinking urine supposedly cures COVID, and I just posted some golden shower stuff on there. But all I'm doing is reposting. But I found it funny. And then,
oh my gosh!
have you ever seen? And and that's the thing. Like, to me, it's like, okay, well, people are saying that urine cures COVID, which is fantastic. I think that's for people that are into golden showers, there's never been better news. So I share things like that. I gain a couple of thousand followers and I lose a few thousand followers because they're like, oh my God, I'm offended. And you know what? If you're offended by that, then you shouldn't be following me.
Yeah, I don't know why somebody would follow you because not in a bad way, but I mean, like I tell people a lot of times because I'd be like, oh yeah, Martine's on this episode, and they're like, oh, how is he? And I'm like, the guy is fucking brilliant. I know you don't like me to tell nobody that, but I really think that you're a really smart guy.
So,
you know what I mean? Like, we've had conversations. You know what I mean?
We have.
And it's just not too many people make me look up words. You know what I mean? Like, we talk about something, and then I'll be like, because I remember it, I'm like, I gotta look that up, like like this or that. You know what I mean? And
I love Chiki's over here. She's like eating it up, and she's like, "Oh my goodness!"
I know you have your image and all this other stuff, but you yourself are very smart. Very hardworking.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. I think that I came up in a time where I think social media wasn't. It was just a thing. And there was no, like, now your social media is regulated at a very young age, and it is extremely doctored and aesthetically the way it's supposed to be in order for you to succeed in life. There are plenty of people that came, Trevor Noah, who's got the Daily Show, right? The Daily Show. Is one of the nicest, most intelligent men you'd ever want to talk to. I hung out with Trevor. He was on the road with Gabe back in the day, and just a great human being. And yet they were accusing him of racism. Some old tweets that came up because, like I said, back in the day, you would just put shit up a lo pendejo, just like whatever, And I think that, people see that on there, and a lot of times it was just for shock value or whatever the case may be. And you're just like, okay, if you can't hang with this, we can't have a conversation. Yeah. If this offends you, we cannot have a real conversation because this means nothing. This is crazy talk. And if this is offensive to you, then there's people that say, man, I love your podcast, but I tell people about it and they're like, I couldn't put it. There's just so many fucks, and it's like, well, if you can't get through the fucks, then it's not for you. I'm not gonna tell people don't say this or censor yourself. I feel whether it hurts or doesn't, I don't care. Say whatever you want, and if people find it offensive, then suck a bag of dicks.
Yep, seriously.
That's
like
that's
even
your line. Ghetto Busters.
Big dicks.
Big dicks. Yeah. So anyway, listen. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Much success to both of you. And keep killing it. And everybody check out Ghetto Busters on Tubi. And hit everybody up here and let us know what you think. Yeah. And thank you again. Peace.
just a little bit. I think the overdrive is just a little